Hi, this is Ben from the Sabbatical Guide. I get a lot of questions about how to book cheap flights, so I thought I'd show you the way I use every time, which is to use Google Flights. So we are looking to go to Japan later in the year. So I just thought I'd take you through the process of how I go about booking these flights. So to start with, there's three of us, so I'll pop that in here. We're looking to go in November, so let's just get a rough date going to start with. Let's say we're going to go from here to here. We want to go for about 3 weeks, so lock it in. So this is straight away going to show me the price of the flights from various places in Japan. Now we want to go to Tokyo, so let's just make sure we lock in Tokyo to start with. So this is now going to start showing us the cost of the flights. So if we click on the left-hand side here and view flights, this is going to open a new tab. And from here, we can start to edit it to what we want from the flights and narrow it down slightly. So straight away, I can see the cheapest flight here is 2,230. However, I've heard some really bad things about Philippine Airlines. So I'm going to take those off the list because they're not an airline that we want to fly with. So we're now going to update it to exclude Philippine Airlines. So we're now starting to get a bit of an idea here of the different costs. You've got a couple of really useful features at the top here, one of which is a price graph, which will show you over a period of time when the most expensive and cheapest flights are. But I also really like this date grid setting. So this is going to now show me across the top the leaving dates and along the side the return dates. So I can see here at the moment I'm on the cheapest. 2,417 for that kind of area. I'm on the cheapest. However, what I notice about some of these flights at the top here is they are really long layovers. So this one involves a 12-hour layover in Singapore. And then you start to get into some of these, there's some quite awkward timings. So I'm now going to play with a couple more settings. So firstly, there's a specific airport in Tokyo we actually want to go to. So there's two airports in Tokyo. Narita is a long way outside of the destination. So I'm now going to choose Haneda, which is going to narrow down my options even further. So you can see the flights have started to go up a little bit now because we're going to the closer airport. Now, my top option here is now 2,900, and this is looking pretty good until I see that it's actually two stops. So again, I'm going to narrow it down here. I want to narrow it down to one stop or fewer. So we're now starting to get into some good flights here. So 3,200 via Cairns, pretty happy with that. So now I can see that I'm going to use the date grid again. So I'm pretty happy with the flights that I'm looking at. So I want to see if I can get them any cheaper if I fly at a different time. So starting to see here, I'm actually chosen the most expensive day to fly out. So the Saturday or the Friday here, the most expensive days to fly out. So if I fly on the Wednesday or the Thursday, we could get it significantly cheaper. So what I'm going to have a look at here is switching this flight to a Wednesday. You have to be pretty flexible with some of this stuff, but we're booking a long way in advance, which gives me more than enough time to chat with work. So now I can start to have a look at this flight. So we're going to travel during the day, taking off just before 9 a.m. in Melbourne, getting to Haneda Airport 8 p.m. Not ideal. I mean, it would have been better to fly overnight. I can see there's another flight down here from Singapore Airlines that would allow me to fly overnight, but significantly more expensive. So nearly $1,000 more expensive and a longer flight. So this is starting to look like the best option. Um, Another really great feature of Google Flights is you could also go up and track these flights here. So if I track these flights at the top here, that is now, you see this little update at the bottom here, that's now going to send me an email every day or so to let me know. So if you're booking a flight a long way in advance and you want to keep an eye on it, you know that 2,600 is the best price. These flights may go down, of course they may go up as well, but it will really allow you to get it locked in and then keep an eye on it for a few weeks to make a decision about whether or not you were getting the best price. What you can do from here, of course, is then go into the Virgin website. So if this is the company we decide to travel with, I could then take all these details and put it in the Virgin website and see if I get it cheaper directly with them. But if I now go and select this flight, this is going to take me through anyway to the Virgin to the Virgin website, and then we can start booking some of the flights from there. So you can see here I can go to continue with Virgin Airways. So this is going to open straight in the Virgin Australia page anyway. I don't think I've ever gone to the website independently and found it to be cheaper. The one thing you have to be aware of is that when you come into here is you might then find it's flights that are on a specific type of fare that you don't want. So it might be flights that don't include baggage. It might be flights that don't include flexibility, in which case you can kind of come back into here. What you can also do with Google Flights is go in here and specify that you want bags and how many that you want, and that will really then help you to narrow down the flights before you get to the website. But I hope that helps. That's my process for booking flights. I generally find the cheapest way. If you use as many different filters, you can choose by different types. You could even choose by multi-city trips and let it choose different airlines, but this will generally get you pretty close to the cheapest version of the flight, and then you can start to shop around on other websites from there.